You have spoken him into existence. The Terry versus Ken matchup as Culturetaste takes on PolynesianSauce. Welcome, everybody, to Breakout.
Okay, and already look at this, getting in with the drive rush, but getting out. There we go, ODDP, the rising pack coming in for clutch, getting back to a bit of a neutral, trading projectiles, but the drive rush again doing so good for PolynesianSauce, doing some standard cross-ups that you always see on that Ken into the DP corner.
Yeah, already has that insane corner pressure going, catches him off guard, gets parried and driven rushed out, thrown back into the corner. We'll see how well he can get out. He's behind on meter, but well ahead on life. Baits out the standing kick, creates a bit of space, uses a Hadouken, blocks the power wave, and we have our first KO of the night, everybody.
Whew, okay. PolynesianSauce already starting out very well. The thing with Terry, you got a lot of neutral skip tools. You got your Burning Knuckle, you got stuff like that. But PolynesianSauce with the Ken toolkit always has something, and especially Drive Rush into all the options they can do off of that to really mix you up.
Yeah, and that is just such a fun aspect of his character, as are these crouching jabs you just saw Culturetaste pull up, but you're seeing that he's repeatedly being caught by PolynesianSauce's wake-up DPs. Even as he forces PolynesianSauce to go into burnout, he has to be worried about that kind of option, as out comes the super!
There we go, level 3, going to be putting a lot of mess onto Culturetaste, and that's already going to be putting PolynesianSauce first point on the board. Definitely got to say, this very strong Ken. Of course, both of these players have got to take this down because, once we get to the streets of Southtown, this is going to be a matchup that we'll see over there too. But we're just getting a little training in Metro City, feeling that out.
You think they're going to be looking at each other in the character select screen and just be like, we got to stop meeting like this?
Maybe, maybe Terry's checking in on Ken again because Ken, still isn't doing too hot. But maybe Southtown will make something different for him.
I mean, alternate continuity, you don't have the whole business with JP, so maybe, and you also don't have those NFTs, but you do have this throw loop. The back throw still counts for the loop, follows up with the Hadouken, catches the drive rush coming in, brutal KO punish.
Ooh, okay, nice PolynesianSauce. Again, throw loop is something that's so prominent in Street Fighter 6 right now. The absolute little gaps you can do, just dash in and do another throw loop. It's definitely something that has to get addressed in Season 3, but it's not stopping either of these fighters, especially as Culturetaste, trying to get some jabs back in, burn knuckle for a counter hit, like it's punish counter.
There it is again. There's that DP I was pointing out. He falls for that again and again, and PolynesianSauce has that as a very reliable wake-up tool because Culturetaste hasn't really been answering it.
Yeah, no, Culturetaste just keeps getting DP, trying to do something, getting it out of block, not even being able to punish it all too well, and even with their drive gauge gone, we're just blocking that DI, blocking everything, but there we go, finally an entrance for Culturetaste, trying to bring it home, but there it is, that level 3 is going to close things off for PolynesianSauce.
Oh my goodness, and we've seen PolynesianSauce a lot here in Breakout, and ranks aren't the whole story, but you're betting a Grandmaster against a Diamond, and I think
okay, here we go. It's the Shoto versus Shoto battle again, and we've seen Rookie time and time again, and they are a brutal demon. Like, look at this already.
Yeah, you like that very bread and butter combo for Luke, and also be careful, because if Rookie gets his level 3 open, he likes to whip it out the second he sees a chance. It's a great momentum stealing tool for him.
Absolutely. Look at that again. So many flash knuckles, but just gets ODDP'd by PolynesianSauce.
PolynesianSauce really likes to break that out, and it seems like people don't anticipate it as much as they should, even though it is a pretty standard wake-up tool for him, but not going to save you from a DDT into a normal throw. If that's not a throw loop, I don't know what is. And I'm going to give the chat another hot take. I like throw loops.
That is crazy. I feel like the pitchforks will really be coming out. But oh, wait a minute, perfect parry. Okay, Rookie actually going for an adventure after the flash knuckle, but getting punished with that level 1.
Yeah, straight into level 1, pure decisive action. That's why I've been talking about the ability to think fast, but to think calm. He knew that opening was going to be there, and you see the throw loop coming out. Rookie goes for the tech, anticipating a third throw, and that gives PolynesianSauce a huge opening. That's why I like throw loops. They add such a huge mind game to Street Fighter 6.
They do, because you see there, you know, PolynesianSauce was getting it started. And then Rookie was like, okay, I'm going to do a throw to... Yeah, you see it there, too.
Yeah,
expecting a throw, but gets punished, and again!
See, that's part of why Street Fighter 6 is so much like baseball.
It's just always mind games.
Yes, just mind games, strategy. There's this whole second game under Street Fighter 6. Gets thrown into the corner, but you see that level 3 coming out just like I warned you about. He's in burnout, but expect that to come out at any moment unless PolynesianSauce gets the kill and obviates the problem. That's how you need to handle Rookie. You don't let him press anything.
You gotta have Rookie questioning for more, but I mean, Rookie off the drive rush is getting a very good start into their triple flash knuckle combo. They have the corner, they're getting the throws. Can we be seeing the throw loop?
Not yet, not this time. Backs off with a sandblast, baits out a drive rush in, puts himself in burnout, but it's very worth it until that perfect parry. We'll see how well PolynesianSauce gets used to this, how well he's able to take control of the momentum. Went for a throw.
We have no gauge right now. I know Rookie is, getting stunned!
Oh my goodness, and here comes the combo. I doubt he's going to be able to get a kill off this, but this is really, really going to hurt. Sets up the throw. Is he going to go for another one? He is. Is he going to go for a third? Is this a third throw? Not going to get a chance. Level 2 ready. Here's another throw for you.
And tried to go for the ODDP themselves, but gets punished.
Beautiful punish on that one from PolynesianSauce, who's already on set point. And it's got to feel good to be in 2 consecutive streamed matches and about to potentially win both. Rookie's determined not to let that happen.
Look at that, able to do a super, and they're going into throws into the corner. Wait a minute, the throw loop coming out from Rookie this time. Going for a third. Maybe go for perfect?
No, gets the perfect. And see that, because PolynesianSauce was so worried about the throws, he was probably mentally ready to tech, and that didn't come out.
Yeah. This time, though, you know, the throw escape did come out, but it's getting parried into the ODDP. Rookie is a lot more calm and collected.
Oh, yes, this man has a method to his madness, but, you know, eating a super is not part of that method. That is just happenstance.
Yeah, sometimes that happens, but you know, we're just going to kind of equal the life lead here. But either way, we're in the corner and we have no gauge. We cannot be getting DI'd or else we're going to get stunned, and DP's going to save us.
Yes, it's going to save. He jumps back. Good thinking. Gets the drive rush, though. Gets another one. They're both in burnout. Rookie's going to come out first. Has critical art ready. Is he going to need it? Is he going to go for it? Drive rushes in. Gets him back towards the corner. PolynesianSauce still in burnout. Here we go!
Okay, that level 3, yeah, that's going to be laying the damage, and that is going to be doing it. PolynesianSauce not going to be able to get back up. Rookie getting a point on the board, kept it cool, that close, and was able to clutch it out.
That's what makes Rookie so dangerous. That's what's put him so deep in so many breakout brackets and so many brackets elsewhere in the wide world of Street Fighter 6. You can't ever count him out, and that pressure is tremendous.
It absolutely is. We've seen it time and time again here on Breakout, how strong Rookie is in the top 8. The PolynesianSauce is trying to drive rush their way into it themselves and knock them out into the losers before they even get to top 16.
Yeah, that's entirely possible. PolynesianSauce a very strong Ken. Right now, turtling up. You saw this in his previous set. The reversal, though.
Oh my goodness.
And here's that gonna come. Rookie puts himself on set point, really just whipping the rug out from under PolynesianSauce, who thought he had a reversal the entire game on his hands.
Tried to do the level 1, but there we go, whiffing the grab. We're in the corner again, but the perfect parry. This is the perfect chance to make your way back out. Everything's getting blocked, but you knew Rookie was gonna grab. You're taking full advantage now.
And he has that level 3 going. We've been talking about how much he likes the level 3. He went for the throw. He tried for another throw. Gets the side switch on him. Gets the cross up. Gets him in the corner. Forces him to turtle up. PolynesianSauce is right on the border of burnout. Is he going to get thrown into burnout? Not going to need it. Out comes the level 3. Rookie wins.
Oh my goodness. All right. Rookie. There we go. That is what we're talking about. Rookie, adapted throughout that set. PolynesianSauce had a good read on the start, but once Rookie started mixing things up a little bit, being like, all right, be that JP. It's not going to be the Bison matchup just yet.
That makes a lot of sense. He was a JP before he was a Bison. This is the ground he is familiar with and comfortable with, and we're going to see if his range game and his up-close game are able to keep the wild man from Brazil down.
Yeah, we're just gonna have to wait and see. And look at this absolute zoning. Zombie is afraid to get in here, and now that they got in, they're getting punished.
Yeah, he's really being taught that he was right to be afraid, right to do the preemptive parries, right to be cautious to jump straight in with that Blanka ball, because what did I tell you before this set started? Jazdero's comfortable at any range. He's not one of those archetypal zoner players who doesn't know how to play up close.
Jazdero will literally rush you down. Look at this, trying to DI, but they're getting perfect parry. This is Zombie's time. They're on a hope and a dream, and they're gonna be trying to make it all the way back, but it's not happening.
Never mind. Look, when you have health that low, if your name's not Daigo Umehara, I'm sorry, but I don't really rate your chances.
Yeah, you gotta be at top of the top if you're making it back like that. But hey, we're just doing some rolling attacks to try to close the difference. But it looks like some stride blocks and some departures for trying to zone this out.
Yeah, gets a good back throw, though. Drive rushes straight in. He misreads the spacing a little, I think, happened there. Whirls right over him, gets the parry, though, and sets up Jazdero's counterattack. Sets up the super.
Level 2, trying to break it open, at least going to be securing that gauge gone, and there we go, the DI, that's going to be a stun for a departure.
Yeah, not quite the kill just yet. Zombie does have that level 3, has all 3 Blanka shots. Never mind, that's going to be the first game.
Okay, I see what Zombie was trying to do. Of course, ODDP, one of the best options you can be doing in the corner to get your way out and get a little bit of reversal, but it looks like Jazdero was expecting it.
Yeah, hard not to. He's so good at getting a read, but what you get from Zombie is his ability to throw off your mind game, to throw off your eye levels. Right now, Jazdero's just trying not to be taking it.
Not at all. Look at that, trying to do more departures, zone it out a little bit. There we go, getting some pokes with some triglobs too.
Yeah, and you can see him over-anticipating Zombie's jump-ins occasionally. Gets the parry going on that one, but he eats up the drive rush straight into the corner. Zombie backs up, sets up his throw. We'll see if he goes for another one. Tried to pull out a parry just in case. Doesn't need another throw. Takes the round.
Whew. Okay, there we go. Zombie in the Blanka Chansu is starting to feel very good, able to get that rush down in the corner. It just matters for replicating that again.
Yeah, and that's a trick. Replication, especially when Jazdero's so consistently setting up these traps. And also, when he does set the trap, if you get past him anyway, he does that.
Yeah, little Strybog or multiple departures trying to come in with Tourbillon. Oh my goodness, they embrace too?
Sometimes I feel like Jazdero switches to Bison when he feels like wearing the training weights.
Yeah, it's kind of like Rock Lee, in the famous clip from Naruto. Like, okay, I got my training weights off. It's still a demon on the Bison, but it's definitely more safe for them.
Yeah, absolutely, but Zombie's in now, and he's got his super going, sets up the Blanka-chan trap, keeps him in the corner. That's a lot of pain. I guess you could say it's a shocking turn of events.
Little on the nose there, but I mean, it's true, especially since Zombie's still poking in, able to get the throw, and that's going to be the 1-1 score.
Oh, definitely. And we'll see who's going to be able to come out on top of this. Jazdero put behind a little, put on the back foot, already eating a heaping load of punishment. That's a lot of life to lose so early in the round. But Jazdero has to keep an eye on Zombie's gauge, because if Zombie puts himself in burnout, which he's well on his way to doing, this could change in a heartbeat.
Especially when you're pushing out their level 1 and it's not going to be breaking you for anything. Now we see Jazdero has the corner, but they're playing it safe. They're not trying to go in too hard, and that DI is going to be securing a lot of health.
Yeah, but that whiffed, and that gives Zombie the opportunity to get back in this. Those neutral jumps, he got a little excessive with them, and I think that was part of the problem. Super comes out. I'm not sure it's going to matter. Gets the cross up, puts himself on set point.
My goodness, just crossing up, having the absolute gumption to do that while JP's got their level 2 on you, and now you're just literally bringing it to the corner again, rolling attack into the neutral shimmy, into the corner combo.
Yeah, and goes for the neutral jumps again. I think he overdoes it a little, though. Ends up on the wrong end of it and eats the portal for this trouble. Gets stuck in the corner. Zombie is eating a lot of punishment. Has level 2 if he gets a chance to use it. Out with the critical art now. Never mind. Slivers of health. Throw seals the deal. Set point for both of them.
Now we're on the last game, last round situation. Everything else before this was training, and now the true match begins. And you can see it with Jazdero. You know, they're zoning out as much as possible, using all their special arts, but it looks like it's going to be set for nothing.
Yeah, and he's trying to anticipate which direction Zombie's going to come in from, and gets the trade. Another one. You know, a wise man once said that perfectly symmetrical violence doesn't solve anything.
It doesn't, you know, violence doesn't solve anything, but I mean, Jazz wants it to solve something.
Yeah, mutual drive rush there. Gets another one, sends him off the wall. Both of them have level 3. Out comes the level 3. Oh my goodness, Jazdero.
Okay, not going to be killing though. He's still got a frame of health, but there we go. The Triangle is just going to be saying, yeah, you're gone. You're gone.
See, what happened never happened, but you know, the past is prologue, but the future's another story entirely. They're about to write a new chapter. Let's go.
Ooh, okay, already starting out strong. Look at this, already Rookie able to start a throw loop in the corner off of that drive rush, having an opening again on Jewelman, and here we go with some Flash Knuckles into Sandblast.
And a lot of corner pressure already, including a throw. He goes for another one. Is he gonna go for a third? Not gonna get a chance, but he sets up the neutral jump and punishes it with the DP. I think Jewelman might have been expecting a duck in. He was expecting another throw attempt, and Rookie was playing that mind game.
Rookie already making a strong statement off of that first round, and it's continuing to show out. Everything getting blocked from Jewelman. Jumping up, you're just going to be getting uppercutted here. Going to be getting to the corner again, trying to venture their way in, but it's not going to be working out.
Yeah, not quite. Gets the 100-hand slaps out, but he's caught coming in on the drive rush, and Rookie uses that chance while he's down to use drive rush as a meaty option to set that up. Reads the butt drop from Kalamazoo, breaks the throw, gets another drive rush in. Oh my goodness, they are just going so fast.
Ooh, look at that, another rising uppercut and the throw. It's going to be securing the first point on the board for Rookie.
Rookie's been doing really well at setting up those jabs to bait Jewelman into jumping and immediately punishing with the rising uppercut.
Every time, it's just kind of that little trinity that you usually have. Just going in with projectiles or jabs, and then if your opponent jumps, just DP.
Yeah, and of course, the typical problem with E.Honda is that he has no projectiles, so it's always a little scary getting around someone's zoning game, like Rookie, who you see backing off a little and relying more on the Sandblast just to keep Jewelman playing uncomfortably.
And it goes to show, like, they're already getting DP'd again, getting jabbed through from the drive rush, and already... Is
that seriously already set point?
Yeah, we're already at set point.
Already. I did say time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, ooh, wait a minute. We're actually getting some openings coming out. Butt slam too.
Oh, yes.
Okay, wait a minute.
Gets the parries, gets a drive impact punish. Backs off a little. He's backing towards the corner, probably hoping more for that Sandblast.
Ooh, okay. Getting an OD attack into the corner. Tries to do the neutral shimmy, but there we go. More OD.
Oh, more and more and more, and he keeps him bullied in the corner. Reads a jump in, headbutts him, takes the first round. Set point versus survival point, everybody. And both of them have level 3. We know how much Rookie likes his level 3.
But now we're in the now or never last-ditch effort, and look at this. Jewelman doing well, but gets a whiffed grab as they weren't expecting to jump up from Rookie, and just as he said, the Flash Knuckle into the level 3!
I mean, if you're fighting Rookie, you have to know that flash combo into level 3 is coming, the Flash Knuckle into level 3. You have to have a game plan around it, and I think Jewelman's a little ready for it. As you can see, he has a life lead. He has his own level 3 out, but he is knocking on the door. Burnout! Perfect parry on the butt drop! That's might! Oh no, he's not going to be able to do it. He backs off. He drops the combo intentionally. Parries the butt drop. That level 3 is still out there and scary. They get a trade on the crouching jabs.
Both of them so scared. There we go. Getting a DP throw escape, though, coming out from Jewelman as they keep doing lows.
He knew that was coming and he was ready to punish it. That's what I'm talking about. That's the Shin and Shin Gitai, picking up your opponent's tendencies and being ready for them.
There we go. Already again, Rookie trying to keep up the pressure, but Jewelman is starting to have a little bit more of an even game, able to drive reverse their way out, but they're still on the back foot.
Yeah, still very much on the back foot. Both of them have the tide set, though. Get a bit of a trade. And you'd think with Jewelman, that butt drop keeps coming out again and again, but Rookie's been parrying it almost every time. What do you think Jewelman's looking for here?
Jewelman might have been looking for what they got. They were able to call out the DP, as you saw just a minute ago, and capitalize off of it. But look at that. OD headbutt is going to be getting punished, and now we're back again at the set point for Rookie.
Yeah, but these games go by so fast that that might not be much of a deterrent. Jewelman only needs a few good seconds to tie this up. And, you know, once upon a time during the Street Fighter 5 days, I was asking, you know, if anybody would like to see Makoto again from Street Fighter 3. And I was told Street Fighter 5 is a game where everybody's Makoto. I feel like Street Fighter 6 is a game where everybody's Makoto.
Ooh, yeah, couldn't be truer. We're like, look at these throw loops too, my goodness.
Oh, he has him stuck in the corner. Gets another throw. Is he going to get another throw loop? He doesn't bother with it. He backs off. The side switch is there. Drive impacts. But it's Rookie who wins the exchange. That's going to do it. The sandblasts come out. The level 1 seals it. He's headed to winner's top 8.
Whew, nice job there, Rookie. Able to secure it. Secure sucker for ninjas, too. So you put both of them together.
Kimberly. Yeah, she's definitely a top pick for me. I don't know if she's the top pick, but her whole character design is just completely adorable and super fun to see in motion. But speaking of motion, ZombieAzteka with the early dominant command, but gets driven back, gets a side switch, tries to jump in, picked out of the air by ZombieAzteka, tries to create enough room, but that sweeps there for ZombieAzteka.
Look at this too. Ooh, getting DI. You know, we're seeing a little bit of life for ZombieAzteka again, especially since their gauge is down. They have to be keeping in the driver's seat.
Yeah, and you have to be careful when you're in burnout because there are few worse characters to be stunned against than Jimmy DR's Marisa. That is so good a time for the drive it back.
There we go. Taking it out. Jimmy DR, you know, already starting off very strong, keeping that defense up. And ZombieAzteka going in for the low sweeps, but the neutral shimmy is putting Jimmy DR back in.
Well, of course, that low sweep is just a great opportunity to get under pretty much all of Marisa's offense. And what's going to be a problem here is if ZombieAzteka goes to it too often. You go to a well too often, the bucket's going to come out dry. And what did I say about being stunned against Marisa?
Yeah, you do not want to do that because look at that, going to be using the super and they're taking you out. And Jimmy DR is already securing their first point on the board.
Yeah, hit ZombieAzteka so hard that some money fell into our Matcherino pool for the evening. If you're in chat, remember, exclamation point Matcherino, M-A-T-C-H-E-R-I-N-O, and you can redeem some codes to add a free 25 cents into the pot and cause a few errors in the transmission of spectating data to buy yourself time to redeem more codes.
You know, it supports the players. It supports everybody who's coming out here. I imagine that a lot of these players, you know, want to be going, you know, they go more to locals, want to be going off to those majors. And I imagine that, you know, getting a little bit from that prize pool will help out in those ventures. So, of course, claim those codes, 25 free cents going into the pot, help support these players and their endeavors as competitors to continue to push themselves more and more.
Yeah, because it's a cliche, but iron sharpens iron, and these players who are so good are coming up against each other so frequently and learning so much from each other, and I think that is the key to a strong scene developing. You have something like that over in Pakistan for Tekken 8, where they are so strong, not because they just keep turning out people who are inherently talented at Tekken, but because they have such a strong grassroots scene and so much cultural support. And if we build that in North America, especially with these online weeklies and stuff, you're going to see absolute killers in this generation of fighting games.
Absolutely. And I mean, both of them are strong contenders themselves. And we're already going to be going back into it. The Capcom hero themselves, ZombieAzteka, going to be seeing if they can make their way back against Jimmy DR.
Yeah, that's not how you want to do it, running right into that punch, but tries to take the offense to Jimmy DR. Eats a Gladius, driven back towards the corner, but Jimmy DR already in burnout.
Ooh, okay.
Oh my.
Nice blocks. We're blocking everything from Jimmy DR, but we got to get back in the driver's seat. And there we go, getting it a little bit.
Yeah, well, it makes sense that Manon blocks a lot of people because she is a model. You can imagine what her DMs look like.
Yeah, probably not the best, but it's all right. They're getting the punish counters, they're getting jabs, but they can't get the grabs.
Backstep! Look at the timing on that backsteps too. I know that already happened forever ago in Street Fighter 6 terms, but that was a thing of beauty, and now ZombieAzteka is the burnt out one.
Ooh, oh right, and look at this in the corner too. Yeah, Jimmy
Set
DR.
point already.
Yeah, we're already on set point.
Yeah, show this set to anybody who says Marisa is a character that can't win.
Yeah, they will be believing you after that. They'll be like, yeah, no, Marisa can win because look at just how much damage they're putting out. But it looks like ZombieAzteka is making their way out of the corner.
Yeah, good use of the command grab. Baits out defend and uses that opportunity to get the side switch. Has level 2, has a medal, eats a back throw. Jimmy DR has that level 3 in his pocket and the advantage in drive gauge. So this is a scary position for ZombieAzteka. Parry straight into command grab.
Beautiful stuff here. Waiting it out too, getting the OD to knock him down, and there we go. Jimmy DR. Wow. Already, like, you know, I made that mistake, you know, it went back in, but Jimmy DR is like, you know,
a lot more tools for shutting down what EC's Juri can do. And see, I was talking about that before the break, that overuse of the drive meter, just opening the round with it and eating a parry immediately.
I thought for a second that was a button check, but no, we're going straight into it. I did. They were both like just on opposite sides, but perfect parry.
Yeah, I think what's happening is that Jimmy DR is playing a rather conservative style. He's waiting to see what EC can do, especially because EC is so aggressive and fast charging.
They're literally just trying to rush in any chance they get, but Jimmy DR is trying to match that energy a little bit, going for some V-presses, but not able to capitalize too much.
Yeah, not able to stop the jump in, or this EX gets stuck in the corner, eats a pinwheel, tries to get up, and EC reads the neutral jump, leads into a throw, baits the throw attempt. I think what happened there was Jimmy DR was expecting a throw loop. He was expecting a second throw, and EC knew he would tech.
But either way, he's torpedoing himself in, getting called out for it though, as back in the driver's seat is EC, backing off in the corner, trying to get a jump in, but can't break this defense.
Not quite, but managed to get through, gets a bit of a neutral jump going, and you saw there that Jimmy DR was ready to parry, but maybe mistimed it. Drive rushes in, puts himself in burnout. EC has level 3 ready, so I do not want to be in a position to eat a stun against this man. And there we see it.
Level 3 coming out from EC, and that is going to be taking Jimmy DR out. Almost a sliver, and the super is going to get whiffed.
Oh my goodness, and that was the purpose of that jump after the super. EC saw that wake-up option coming out, saw that on the bottom of the screen, and just baited it out. And here we are going into the second game. EC has just been a master of manipulating Jimmy DR's expectations.
Absolutely. You saw that jump at the end too. They're trying to mix up Jimmy DR any chance they can, and I mean it showed. EC already starting off very strong, getting that first one. We will see how it kind of evolves as we go. As we've seen with previous matches, we see our opponents kind of reading more and more against as they go on, and Jimmy DR is like, okay, you know, the Bison might not have been it, so we're going back to the Marisa.
You see this a lot, where people will pull out a character they don't use a lot, or that's their secondary, a pocket character, just to feel out the matchup and see if they can get an advantage. But Jimmy DR is a Marisa through and through. I would not be surprised to see him play much more comfortably, but EC already in control of the second game, and this is not a game where you have a lot of time.
Yeah, you do not have a lot of time here, because look at that, already getting jabbed in again, trying to defend, but just gets punished.
I think this might already be the entry to set point if Jimmy DR can't pull off a miracle.
We are in the first to free setting though, because, ooh, my goodness, whiff grab.
Yeah, fortunately for Jimmy DR, we are in that territory now, a little too far away for that drive rush to manage to close the distance. And classic EC there, you know, comes in behind his fireball, gets the jump over when he baits that defense, and Jimmy DR drops onto the fireball.
perfect setup there coming out from EC, trying to break that defense again any way they can, but, you know, backing off a little bit, just trying to bait him out. But, ooh, expecting the drive rush.
Yeah, overextends on the punishment, though, drops the counter and ends up on the wrong side and breaks another drive rush. This is where that mixture comes in, where people know what EC's going to do, but the question is, are they calm enough, collected enough, and fast enough to do anything about it?
That's a true question, because already we got the corner game coming out for Jimmy DR, getting anti-air though, making their way back in. Both of them just kind of jabbing each other out right now.
And just like that, it's 2-0. We are back in first to 3 territory. I know it's been a while since Breakout played SF6, so I don't blame anybody in chat who might have gotten a little confused, but right now Jimmy DR is trying to feel out his way back into this set.
Trying to make their way back in, but it looks like EC keeps tagging them out. But the ODDP getting whiffed is going to be perfect for Jimmy DR to try to get around on the table.
Oh my goodness, and that's a big life lead, but it's disappearing second by second. Look at EC's sheer aggression. Shuts down the drive rush, doesn't manage to get a whole lot out of it other than sending EC back. But that trade in midair, EC's health was just low enough.
Nice work, nice work. And look at that, already just jumping over the fireball, getting DP'd for it though. But Jimmy DR, they're up right now.
Yeah, he's been having a hard time stopping that pinwheel when it comes out, and part of that is that EC hasn't been throwing it out willy-nilly. It's not always his default wake-up option, so he catches Jimmy DR not looking for it, and he's doing a great job of weathering the storm of this pressure in the corner, even as he backs himself into it. Oh, wow.
Okay, nice OD. Keep it going. We have no more gauge, but it's fine because the super's coming out, and Jimmy DR getting a point on the board.
Marisa wins.
Yeah, keeps himself alive a bit longer. We are in first to 3 territory, and he's hoping to force the game 5.
I imagine, but it looks like we're going to be going straight to Brazil, as we're going to be seeing if they're going to be able to make it back. But already the throw escape from EC, they're playing a lot more slippery.
Yeah, much more slippery. You've been seeing that through this set, throwing off Jimmy DR's timing and spacing and his expectations. He's not just rushing in to rush in. He's been working off that low fireball a lot, and he's backing himself into the corner to force Jimmy DR to overextend. But eats the back throw for his trouble, blocks the Gladius. You see him driving back towards the corner. Another wake-up pinwheel.
Ooh, okay, already Jimmy DR has to find a way in again, and EC always getting those lows into the throws, but ooh, calling out that drive rush with their super.
That has been where Jim DR is consistently seeing some success, calling out the drive rush, because EC is so happy and so, not frivolous, but so liberal is the word I'm looking for, with the drive rush. If he has gauge, he's drive rushing.
And then boom, 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 in order to tie up that health a little more. EC trying to get it, blocks the drive rush, perfect.
Yeah, he's having such great results using the drive impact to disrupt these combos and entry opportunities. But the thing is, his timing on getting over those fireballs is getting red.
Yes, constantly. You see EC just kind of playing a little bit more on the footsie stage over and over because they keep getting kind of called out for what they want to go in with, but that overhead, that kind of just jump in is going to be able to secure that round as we're on set point.
Already, well, I say already, Jimmy DR has been putting up a fight. He did take a round, but this game moves so fast that a full 5-game set, it feels like it takes 3 minutes.
It really does feel that way because already that punish counter is going to be getting them slapped. As Jimmy DR, can we break the defense? Trying to find their way in, trying to boom it out, but cannot find it, but the anti-air is going to.
Yeah, he knew that jump in was coming, as did he read that throw it down. And that keeps happening to him, that little interaction where he jumps over the fireball, hits EC, but lands on it.
And look at that, we're already so close, and yeah, the ODDP getting whiffed like that is never what you want to see, as it's going to be going either way. Jimmy DR trying to get that second game.
Set point versus survival point here. What do you think Jimmy DR's keys are here?
The keys that Jimmy DR has to use, they're doing a lot good of having those big buttons that kind of call out EC, especially when they're getting slippery. You see that throw there? They saw, okay, they're in defense, now we can throw. It's always calling out those little things when EC is not calling out themselves.
Yeah, reads the dive kick, gets a little bit of a block off, and oh, this might be it. Puts himself in burnout, but out comes the super. That should be enough, and if it is not, it's going to put Easy in a truly dire position. I mean, there's no coming back from this, everybody. Oh, except maybe that.
Ooh, okay. Uses the level 1 to try to save themselves for a little longer. You gotta play really safe, though, especially when you have just little Gage coming back, able to get the throw.
Is he gonna do it? Is he gonna do it? He's going to! That's a stun! He has level 2 and a stun! This is probably going to be it! If he doesn't whip this, if he doesn't drop this somehow, 1 pixel each, and Easy makes the comeback! Are you kidding me?
Good lord! 1 HP! Stuff happened, but in the end, it just wasn't enough.
Oh,
but
wow.
we're also
no
just
waiting at all. Straight into Ruffian versus Rookie, and this is going to be a fun one. A multiple-time champion against one of the biggest top 8 threats in the scene. But Ruffian, you know, for the entire early history of Breakout's SF6 series, he was just winning again and again and again. It was his world. We were all just living in it.
I want to point out that the reason this was so fast is they were both competing in another bracket tonight called Network Clash, and they literally just went against each other on stream too. So they're really just doing set after set, basically.
They're just picking up right where they left off. But the question there is, how well are they going to manage to fatigue? Because this is literally non-stop play, 2 consecutive sets against the exact same guy.
When that happens, you know, you got to keep yourself alive, and that's exactly what Ruffian is doing, keeping themselves alive, and they're going to be going back into it, you know, again in a neutral state. But Rookie not finding those errors.
Yeah, and if you're Ruffian right now, the only advice the coach can give you is to be just or be damned.
Exactly, because look at this, trying to get in again, but the DI actually works, but gets stunned by the Blanka-chan.
Ruffian loves those Blanka-chan traps, but they usually don't work out for him quite that brilliantly. He loves setting up a situation where you're stuck between him and the doll, so that you have to choose your poison reel. You have to choose which one is going to hit you, and that is exactly where he usually draws it up. But that super's coming out. Ruffian's not going to be able to stop this. That's a lot of damage, as a man in a infomercial once said. Got so excited by this gameplay, I forgot how to talk.
Oh my goodness, and the DP gets whiffed too. Yeah, when that happens, Ruffian's just gonna make quick work of you. Already taking the first game as we're moving on to the next game already, and already just always those little jab kicks coming in for Ruffian.
Oh wow! That Sandblast picked him off as he was pulling out Blanka-chan. Sure, the trap is still set, but he's right in Ruffian's face, taking the fight right to him, driving him into the corner, setting up the throw. Is he gonna go for another one? Not gonna get a chance to, thanks to that EX Blanka ball.
But still able to secure a throw, and the ODDP coming out. That's getting whiffed this time. It's going to be Ruffians, as there we go. DDT going to be able to secure a round for Rookie.
Oh my goodness, he catches him coming in. Right now you see him changing the eye levels a bit, creating multiple range threats, but drives right through it, drive rush into the throw, drive rush again, baits out the grab attempt. It's perfect parried on the way down. Oh.
Okay, nice again. There we go, with the grab. That's exactly what Ruffian needs to make quick work, because boom, boom, boom. There we go, we're back up in the rounds.
You know, call me crazy, but I think Ruffian uses the character model's design to create deceptive space. You think you're in range when you aren't quite, and then he lets you whiff, and he makes you pay.
Oh my goodness, in one of the last possible frames to get that DI counter to Ruffian makes it happen into the level 3!
I mean, we've been talking Shingi Tai, and a lot of this is pure Tai body from RUFIANmx, and you just see the sheer reaction speeds on display here. Fun fact, I didn't know why it was called Taijutsu in Naruto until I read up on that martial arts philosophy. It means body technique. It's so obvious in retrospect.
Especially when, oh, wait a minute, with the grab, again, that deception you were talking about with that skin, but it looks like Ruffian's keeping alive. Oh, not for long!
Oh, not for long at all. This set might end up tied up. Gets deflected like a ping pong ball. Gets DDT'd. Jake the Snake Roberts would be proud. Welcome to a tied set.
Rookie keeping themselves alive. They're not going down and out just yet. They want to make a name for themselves and continue further and further in the MMA bracket, and already getting a crush from that DI.
Oh, Beautiful stuff. Gets a bit of a trade to counter, backs off a bit, perfect parries the Blanka ball, but runs straight into another one. Ruffian completely unfazed. If you stuff one attack, he's already firing off the next. You can see why I was talking about his sheer speed.
Both of them honestly have speed, but especially Ruffian, always able to close that distance with any type of rolling attack. But Rookie has the corner right now. They got a throw. They're not able to secure a throw loop, but they're able to defend a lot of strings coming out from Ruffian here.
Oh, good work reading that jump in, though, with the neutral jump drop kick anti-air. He just kind of fired that Blanka ball off. I'm not sure. He was probably anticipating something, but it cost him a round.
Yes, and now it's advantage for Rookie. Rookie is in the lead in terms of rounds. I imagine Ruffian does not want to continue that, as they're already going to secure the corner off of a few rolling attacks and is going to be not blocking this.
He does have the life lead and the drive gauge lead. Not the drive gauge lead anymore, of course, but, you know, back to it. Maybe I should stop talking. They are determined to make every word I say a commentator's curse.
Looks like the throw loop. Yep, the throw loop is happening. I only just said throw loop, so... Oh my goodness, the punish counter on the third one because of the parry, and another one too. This is just Rookie's game!
Oh, it is indeed, and that beloved level 3 comes straight out to seal the deal. Going up 2-1 against our recurring champion, one of the most dangerous people on the bracket any given Friday. RUFIANmx has to find a way to get back in this.
They have to find an answer, because already the flash knuckles are coming out from Rookie in order to secure more and more.
Oh, yes, indeed. Keeps him up against the corner. Jumps over the drive impact. And that was just a beautiful reaction. Uses Blanka ball to close the distance, to keep on top of Rookie's hitbox, to set up more of a continued combo. Keeps up the pressure. Throws out Blanka a little too far away to do him much good. Trying to get close enough to activate it. He does activate it.
But, ooh, wait a minute. The throw is coming back from Rookie, and they're able to secure a drive reversal in the corner, but getting ODDP'd is going to be knocking you out.
Look, just because you get rid of the Blanka doll doesn't mean you've beaten Ruffian's strategy, because he still has a whole toolbox as Blanka. He wants you to over-focus on that doll.
He really does, especially because Ruffian trying to go back in gets anti-aired, and this is going to be a lot of Rookie's game now, especially as they got you in the corner. Ruffian's got to watch out. Not able to neutral shimmy because they do not have drive. Oh, the stun!
Oh, wow. Yeah, this is probably one of the worst players on the bracket to be stunned against, because he has such killer instinct. Here comes the super again, and that's going to do it. That's going to put him on set point.
Set point right now for Rookie, leaving Ruffian a little down now. But again, Ruffian, you know, they have that critical art. They still have the level 3 active. They can use any super they want, compared to Rookie, who's got nothing in that bar.
Yeah, nothing at all. The level 1's coming out. Whoa, just immediate grab counter. We'll see if he goes for a throw loop. Not going to try it. Blanka ball's coming back out to force him to turtle up, force him into burnout. Here comes another throw for his trouble. Immediate drive rush across the distance. We know how much Ruffian likes that trick. He's waiting him out for a moment there.
And ooh, getting the stun in the corner. This is perfect for Ruffian, especially setting up that Blanka doll. Going to be continuing it more and more. Can Rookie get out of it, especially after that perfect parry? Gets the punish counter, gets another counter as we're going for flash knuckles. We're drive rushing our way in. Avenger coming out. We cannot get the knee. We're blocking, but we're fine.
Yeah, not if this overshoots, though. Blanka there, gets activated, but throws through it. Uses a drive rush, eats the OD Blanka ball. Oh, the side switch is there. We have a tight set.
2-2. Ruffian is officially coming back. They are not out just yet, which I imagine something is going to be being said by Rookie. They want to make that comeback.
Yeah, but, you know, it's almost better, probably certainly better if you're this competitive a player. If you have an opponent who can put you to your limit like this, everyone wants to go the distance, even if they tell you they don't.
You know, they might downplay themselves a little bit, but everybody wants to be getting to that W, which I imagine both of these fighters do too, especially with how careful they play. They know what's at stake here.
Yeah, absolutely, especially if you can redeem some more of those Matcherino codes and get us a little higher into that prize pool. If a Matcherino in chat after an exclamation point, and you can add a free 25 cents to that pot by redeeming a code.
Absolutely, always help out these players, especially as Rookie is getting DI'd.
And he's burnt out, and he's up in the corner, and he's getting thrown, and his health is getting low. Welcome to set point, Ruffian.
Okay, Ruffian is doing very, very good right now. They're really feeling it here, especially as they're continuing their pressure, getting the throw. This is perfect against Rookie because we got the corner too, and we're popping off with a level 2.
Oh, yes, indeed. Sets up the Blanka chance, sets up the doll for his usual doll trap, blocks the drive impact. Out comes the doll, out comes the pressure.
Ooh, okay, boom, boom, trying to headbutt just a little more, and the perfect KO. That's gonna seal the deal.
Oh, that was beautiful. Ruffian
to kind of just poke and navigate their way around the screen a little meticulously.
And look at this already. We see SilverRupee trying to chase Jazdero down, not allowing any space for zoning to happen as we're already drive rushing into the corner.
Yeah, immediately starting things off strong. I like the little kill frame there with the bullets. More pressure coming on. Jazdero in the corner. Not pulling the trigger on the Amnesia yet, but getting a counter hit to get their way out of here.
Literally just drive rushing their way in, getting the punish counter off of the throw, trying to continue it, but just getting jumped over. SilverRupee able to drag you into the air and secure a round.
Yeah, we were talking just a moment ago. You got to leave the tricks at home. Jazdero looking for a sneaky command grab there, but SilverRupee ready for the jump.
Literally just waiting for it, but just getting jabbed out right now by Jazdero, having some really good poking normals, but getting grabbed off their DI.
Yeah, just relentless pressure right now. Looking like an old school boxer as they move in. SilverRupee on the attack. Jazdero kind of swinging for the fences though. Just a little bit of a get off me play style right now.
SilverRupee just keeps rushing in so hard and catching Jazdero out the sky. It's just a matter, can they keep him away? And that level 3 is going to be saying, nah, you're not taking me. And I gotta say, this level 3 is so sick. Tying up your opponent and just boxing them in the stomach to uppercut them after is just so cool.
Yeah, it's so unmerciful, and as unmerciful as SilverRupee's offense that entire first game, just looking unstoppable. Let's see if Jazdero does go to the well. We brought up earlier he does have the Bison, and we're heading directly to it from the character select screen onto the battlefield. Bison going to change the dynamic of this matchup a little bit.
It's not gonna be the same story, we do not have the zoner that can play back but also rush forward too. Bison, they're gonna be doing their knee presses, they're gonna be making their way in with the Psycho Mind, so it's gonna be a different story.
Yeah, especially the way Jazdero approaches both characters. With the JP, he can kind of stick and move a little bit more, but it's an absolute freight train with the Bison.
Their safety character toe-and-toe, but it looks like SilverRupee is still able to get some jabs in, get that throw, and secure the corner. They're not scared of it.
Yeah, completely running their game plan here and just counter hit after counter hit keeps on stacking up. SilverRupee looking for that same kill frame setup we saw last time, and Jazdero immediately is just on his back foot again, and SilverRupee will not be denied, looking to go up 2-0.
They want to be able to get the lead here, already blocking that knee press, not allowing it for anything, but Jazdero, there we go, finding a counter into an opening.
Yeah, right now it looks like Jazdero's just trying to go ahead and just kind of bash his head against a brick wall with the drive rush here, but SilverRupee ready for the reversal.
There we go, blocking in the corner, but SilverRupee is going to be getting open now into the Psycho Mind.
That's exactly what Jazdero wants. Once that mind's on, he can start looking for punish counters, but SilverRupee finds one first. Critical art is online.
Especially when that Psycho Mind was just about to go off too, but such little health. Any opening from Jazz is going to do it, and yeah, that's going to be the one to do it.
Yeah, it seems like Jazdero's looking a little more comfortable in the scrambles now that he has a character that just swings a little bit harder than JP. Bison might be working out dividends for him here, but SilverRupee kind of just changing the pace on him now. Was going full throttle, but now just looking for the stick and move.
There we go, going to be able to get the grab, and is trying to get a little bit more off of it. Getting swept though and knocked down is going to be perfect for Jazz to come back out. Whiffs the grab though, but the drive rush is going to be coming in clutch.
Yeah, it's going to be one of Jazz's main tools here, just abusing those plus frames over and over. Once again, off of the Psycho Mind, gets the knee press here. Can't cancel into level 3, and he will to attack the drive gauge and the health bar of SilverRupee.
This is going to be leaving SilverRupee very weak. Not done, but weak, especially with no drive gauge in the overheat. Yeah, no, this is not good, especially when your opponent's DIing you.
Yeah, it looked like SilverRupee was trying to bait out a DI and cancel off of that standing medium kick, but Jazdero just pulling the trigger a little too fast right now tying things up 1-1.
And look at that, getting canceled off of the low. Their drive rush gone, but it looks like SilverRupee still able to make some openings happen. Not enough, though, to the point where they can break it against Jazz, as they're just going straight into it.
Yeah, you can see the tone is kind of getting set for this game now. Both players have kind of slowed down their approach, being a little more meticulous, but SilverRupee continuing to find the opening he needs to put Jazdero back into the corner.
Literally just trying to jab again and again, catching Jazz off the sky, going to the bottom, and then boom, another KO is going to be given. Something else for SilverRupee.
Yeah, right now it's just a match of killer be killed. We've seen both games just kind of be decided in the corner for both opponents, not really trading sides, and Jazdero once again just trying to put SilverRupee on the right side of the screen, baits out a reversal there, and that's going to be a huge punish.
Ooh, okay, crazy punish for SilverRupee. Getting another there too. Oh my goodness. Yeah, no, Jazz is going full nonstop. As you said before, Factor, it's a freight train.
Exactly, cashing out with the knee press nightmare here is going to tie things up 1 round apiece here in game number 3. And like I said, if the organization tag didn't show that these players were like at high level to go ahead and be accepted into organization, their gameplay is showing it, and it looks like they're pretty equal right now.
They are, especially as the throw loop is coming out from Jazz. Gets a little mixed up, but they're able to get an air attack in there too. OD knee press, keep it going in the corner. Can we be seeing? Yes, we are, the level 3.
Yeah, don't even ask me if it'll kill, because with Bison, you never know for sure. Right now, slamming to the ground, SilverRupee's gonna have a sliver of health to work with here.
Ooh, and not enough. Getting the perfect 2. Bison is quite literally saying, give me my clone body back.
Yeah, I just realized that is a bit of a lore battle here. Bison trying to reclaim one of his own.
You know, that lore body, that clone body that kind of got set free by Balrog a little bit, you know, just fostering it.
Well, let's get back into it. Jazdero once again finding that little counter hit. It's a lot of corner carry with the mine implanted.
Look at that too. There we go. Trying to make an opening. Both of them just going back and forth on each other with good pokes and nice stuff like that. Both power punish counters too.
Yeah, just an absolute slugfest. It just seems like Jazdero is trying to get SilverRupee to hard commit to something, and every single time he finds a whiff punish to cash out big time. That's going to be a burned out SilverRupee here.
And with that torpedo, we are securing the set point almost for Jazdero here. Just needs one more win to secure it and move on the loser side. And we're already getting a very good Psycho Mind combo.
Yeah, just an absolute change in momentum after that character switch, and Jazdero continues to pour it on. SilverRupee's got to act fast, does have that level 2 on deck.
And if you know Ed, you know that level 2 is crazy for juggling a combo across.
Right there, finding another neutral jump. We saw him land that earlier in the corner. Right now, just one hit away. If he confirms it into a super, gets the punish counter, throw off of the DI. Jazdero on his last legs on the round.
And yep, getting crushed in the corner by a DI is going to send that flying, as it's now set point versus survival point, as K-Box likes to say, as we're going to be seeing who's coming out alive.
Just continuing to go back and forth. Jazdero looking for the upper hand here. Immediately chooses not to cash out, but the Psycho Might is implanted. Wonderful poke there on the side of SilverRupee. Does he have the dream combo on deck?
Going to be seeing that as they're continuing to juggle with that level 2. They're not letting it get away as we're going around the world from East Coast to West Coast. Getting the throw. Might be getting the throw loop here. No, we're not going for it, but we're still going for jabs.
Yeah, that level 2 was exactly the opening that SilverRupee needed. Jazdero now busting out the drive reversal to get himself some space. Dangerously low on drive gauge, but does have that level 3 on deck. If he finds the hit, he gets the counter off of the DP, plants the mine, and continues the pressure.
Ooh, gets the punish counter throw too. This is perfect for Jazz to make a comeback here, especially since SilverRupee's in burnout, and that level 3 is going to secure it. Jazdero going to be moving on in the loser side, sending SilverRupee home.
Yeah, you hate to see the Tim kill, but right now Jazdero just showing today he is going to be the superior team member, and he's going to be moving forward. We will see how he navigates it right now. It is going to be Rookie and Zombie here in Losers Quarters Finals.
Let's see how this boils down, especially as Rookie is already trying to break open this defense and finds it with the anti-air DP.
Yeah, right now shutting down those options from Zombie early, putting him in the corner, using that Sandblast just to make sure there's no space given up. It's a very fast poking fireball, and right now, speaking of pokes, Rookie finds another one to put Zombie right back into the corner.
Literally just trying to keep it going, not allowing Zombie to get up for much longer. But Zombie, you know, they're trying to make it in there, trying to drive rush in, but gets counter drive rush by Rookie as they're just pushing them all the way back into the corner. But the DP is going to be a whiff.
Yeah, looking for the rising uppercut there. Doesn't work out. Zombie getting the Funko Pop on screen. Here comes some more of those mix-ups here. Up Blanka ball to get the damage in.
Can we see more? Not able to get past this defense once again from Rookie as they're trying to zone out a little bit before drive rushing in themselves.
Yeah, taking a little bit of their foot off the gas there, get some of their drive gauge bar back. Zombie right now at a life deficit, but looking in full control of the situation. Finds the Amazon River run there, but a counter hit from Rookie getting back to mid-screen.
And that's going to do it. Rookie able to get the first round. Both of them whiffing the grab at that point, but Rookie was able to be the one to whiff first, which meant they acted first.
Yeah, we were talking about that unique playstyle of Rookie earlier, and he's just putting it on display here, able to go ahead and navigate those scrambles against a squirrely character, and he once again puts Zombie back into the corner.
Ooh, wait a minute though, it's actually going to be Rookie in the corner. The throw coming out from Zombie, able to do good, but the drive rush and the triple flash knuckles coming into the level 3, as I said before. It's a classic.
Yeah, whenever he has that level 3 on deck, he spends it faster than I spend my paycheck on payday. And right now, it's putting him in a massive life lead above Zombie right now. A little low on drive gauge, but that hasn't been a problem for him his entire time playing Street Fighter 6.
Not at all. Even when Zombie's trying to poke in, Rookie's able to defend and go back. One Sand Blast is going to do one thing, and the rising uppercut's going to do the other.
Yeah, Rookie standing strong there. Didn't really fall for the trap that was the Blanka there, knowing that they have the Sandblast on deck if it was ready for activating, and that's how they took the first game over Zombie here.
Very good. Trading with each other in the air, but Zombie is going to be the one to be able to capitalize off of it, but Rookie is just drive rushing in. Flash Knuckle, another one into some Avengers.
Yeah, every single time Zombie's looking to set up the tricks, Rookie is shutting it down immediately. And stop me if you heard this one before, but Rookie putting their opponent in the corner. A nice breakout, though, on the side of Zombie.
And now we see Rookie playing a little more patient. If you notice that first game, there was a lot of patience going on between the two, especially Rookie, you know, doing a little bit of zoning on the loop too. They're playing smart.
Yeah, just able to control the pace the entire time. It's not exactly a perfect formula, but it's working out over and over. Finds a low forward there, drive rush cancel, and that's going to close out another round on the side of Rookie, not giving Zombie really a chance to get anything going.
Zombie's got to find the answers here on how to trip Rookie up, and trying to, you know, get a bit of a shape opening in is definitely an answer, but it's just getting countered.
Yeah, it does have that level 2 on deck if he does go into the Lightning Beast, but these drive rush cancels continue to feed families for Rookie. Zombie once again in the corner, just how we saw in round 1. The rising uppercut misses, and this is the opening Zombie might need.
This could be the perfect opportunity, especially the drive rush in, able to get Zombie down and out, and there we go. Flash Knuckles into another level 3, getting such a crazy life lead.
Yeah, that is a huge amount of damage. Despite any nerfs to Luke, he continues to cash it out, and right now Rookie just one hit away from going up 2-0 here in losers quarters.
Tried to cross up but couldn't capitalize. Rolling attack, not able to break this defense. Has to find something to break Rookie open. Throw escape, able to help him out a little bit.
Yeah, playing good defense here on the side of Zombie. Only one hit to give up, but another counter poke with a crouching medium punch finds its home, and Rookie is now up 2-0.
That drive rush was just a little too short. Going to be able to take Zombie out. Zombie has one more chance to not lose a match, and if they lose it, it's going to be down and out. So this is going to be a little bit of a now or never.
Yeah, it's just hard to navigate when a player like Rookie is just so quick on the trigger, looking for punishes. Another nice little 3-hit combo, puts him back in the corner, finds a low crush into the DDT. That's a massive amount of damage, and Zombie is going to be on his last legs here in this round.
Especially since they're getting DP'd into the sky, and Rookie just going to be able to chop their way down. And now this is, again, set point versus survival point. Now or never, last-ditch effort. What is Zombie going to be answering with here to get Rookie down?
Yeah, he's got to bust out some new tricks. Right now, Rookie looks prepared for everything. Finds the crouching medium punch, off of the counter hit there. We can get some offense going. Starting to build that life lead on Rookie. Here comes the Lightning Beast. He's low on drive gauge, but can still get a lot of tricks set up here.
Getting so much, getting a Blanka, but getting perfect parry to Rookie, trying to make their way out of the corner, blocking everything. And that punish counter DP with the grab. Okay, yeah, Rookie setting up into that level 2.
Yeah, just a little Steph Curry step back there to go ahead and find the counter hit and just pushing out level 3 damage with a level 2 super there. Zombie in burnout, but it's not quite over for him yet. Setting up the throw loops, finds another counter hit. Right now, Rookie in the corner, a jump back. They're going left and right here.
Okay, and drive rushing in. Rookie does want to take this round, but getting swept a little bit by Zombie, but able to find the perfect opening off the drive rush, and that's going to be Rookie closing it out and moving on to the
losers side of our top 8. It is Jimmy DR and Jazdero.
Okay, and already Jimmy DR just jumping right past some of these projectiles, getting the throw broken, but just does not care.
Yeah, and Jazdero just finding the counter hit here. We see that's kind of his bread and butter. Once you get close, he starts throwing out that standing heavy punch, finds himself a nice little punish counter throw off of the departure, but Jimmy DR coming right back in with the Scootum stance.
They're not stopping for nothing, even if Jazdero is trying to, as they're just going to be getting knocked down again, trying to jab their way out, but it's at least getting back to a neutral into the anti-air.
Yeah, it seems right now Jimmy DR is just trying to force the issue and cause a scramble, but Jazdero looks ready for it. Finds himself an OD amnesia there and setting up another departure. Nice air-to-air on the side of Jimmy DR. Jazdero looking a little low on his drive gauge here.
Looking very low, trying to make something happen. Already spending the level 2 to get this first match done, and that's gonna do it.
Yeah, I swear JP players are just coming up with brand new mix-ups before Jazdero, hopping around like a kangaroo. Not sure if it was on purpose, but it works out for him either way. Starting round 2 though, Jimmy DR is passing the vibe check and finding themselves a nice little counter DI to get the party started.
Jazdero might be trying to mix up, trying to DI off the start of this round, but at least they're making their way out of the corner with a few low jabs and able to cross up, call out that drive impact there.
Yeah, absolutely masterful on the side of Jazdero, but here comes Jimmy DR on the attack once again, spending all that drive gauge to get in. Uses the OD Gladius to go ahead and find a counter hit there. Jazdero, a little worse for his wares in the corner, gonna have to find a way to get out here.
Gotta find an answer, especially with how much Jazz is throwing against you. Gonna be able to poke for a punish counter hit. Nobody has bar right now, both in burnout, as Jazz is just playing that zoner game but trying to rush it down.
Yeah, Jimmy DR coming online once again, using that raw drive rush to go ahead and get it. What an absolute insane reaction on the side of Jazdero to go ahead and stop that DI attempt on the side of Jimmy DR with the level 1. Go ahead and close out game number 1 on the side of Jazdero.
Very strong there, calling out that DI with the level 1, and it works so well too, but Jimmy DR is rightfully pissed about that because we're already going into the corner with almost more than half of your health gone.
Continuing to force some wrong guesses here too. Jimmy DR, an absolute freight train, almost in burnout, but a massive life lead, finds himself the wall splat. Jazdero on one more hit, and Jimmy DR putting an exclamation point on top of that round.
That was quite literally blink and you miss it. Jimmy DR just rushed it to the corner and just used those big buttons to just say goodbye. That heavy hitting damage just pulling to work.
Yeah, you can tell it definitely put Jazdero on notice there, making him stand back a little bit, throwing a little bit of a Russian little dance there. Look at the USSR doing a little kick step, but Jimmy DR shuts it down real quick, and Jazdero living in the corner once again.
Able to secure the level 1 after just teleporting back, and now trying to drive rush it in against Jimmy DR, but is back in defense.
Yeah, those OD amnesias keep on finding their home too, just enough there to get Jazdero out of a bad situation. Now turns the tables on Jimmy DR, but right back at him, running up for the grab, and a counter hit from the size of Jazdero, and them there just swinging for the fences here.
Able to get a little more, just needs one more jab. We see Jimmy DR trying to break their way in against Jazdero, but Jazdero, trying to keep alive and using a very strong air poke there in order to secure the round.
Yeah, Jazdero does love his disjointed hitboxes, and he will go ahead and find that last hit he needs to close out the round. And starting out this third round with the bang here, does have the level 2 on deck. He decides to get tricky with it.
Getting as tricky as they can. There we go, doing a bit of a poke. Both of them trading each other out with these counter hits and is trying to get a little more.
And now Jimmy DR finding himself on the wrong end of a cross up. The level 3 is on deck on the side of Jazdero. He's going to go ahead and pull the trigger off of some lights. Might be go ahead and scale a little bit too much. Not going to be enough to kill here, but Jimmy DR does have that critical art on deck and can turn the tables off of one hit.
Literally just catching Jazdero every time, but Jimmy DR going to be going down and out as Jazdero is able to get the second game up, as now Jimmy DR is left in a spot. They have to find the answers.
Well, we might have an answer here with the M.Bison. Got tired of playing that Bull and Matador game. See if they can control neutral a little bit better here with the character that's able to go ahead and use his OD Cycle Crushers to close the gap, and other options like using the knee press to go ahead and get themselves in. Definitely changes the dynamic of the match here.
Absolutely. And for Jazdero, you know, it definitely is going to be a different game. Bison is not going to be playing the same as Marisa. Of course, they're going to be just trying to go in. They can close the distance rather easy, get the Psycho Mines. So this might be a harder match for Jazdero, but let's see if they come out.
Right there, using the Devil's Reverse to go ahead and get over the departure portal. Looking like Jimmy DR is a little more comfortable here, trying to find himself a knee press. No punish from Jazdero.
Literally just trying to shimmy their way out. Punish counter, though, that's going to be good for Jazz, especially trying to set up departure, able to teleport through for a punish counter throw.
Oh, I like the run through there to get past the ghost on the side of Jimmy DR. Burns himself out in the process, though. Still continuing to put on the offense, but Jazdero finds himself another OD Amnesia, mixes him up with it, jumping over, finds the spike to finish it off, and Jazdero's now on match point.
Quite literally on set point right now. Jazz doing so strong. You can tell Jimmy DR is trying to wait it out. Getting the Frodo off the OD Torpedo as we're already securing the corner.
Yeah, looking like they have the same game plan as with the Marisa, just able to mix things up a little bit more with Bison. As you see there, plants the Psycho Mine, using the Devil's Reverse to try to abuse the plus frames, forcing Jazdero to spend some meter there.
Gonna be definitely forcing it, but also forcing yourself into the corner. But perfect parry coming out from Jimmy DR into the drive rush is gonna be melting away at Jazdero's HP and gonna be able to counter DI with their own.
Yeah, absolutely. Just on a freight train again, reacting with the DI. Doesn't even have to spend any super gauge to find himself around there. And this might be the little bit of momentum that Jimmy DR needs to go ahead and turn the tables.
Just needs a little more there. Jumping over that OD Torpedo, though. We're seeing Jazdero, you know, keeping a good defense right now. Trying to switch into that offense. Gonna be a little bit of a counter trade, though.
Jazdero finding themselves in the corner once again. They haven't been too uncomfortable with it this entire set so far, but that level 3 is on deck on the side of Jimmy DR.
And ooh, perfect parry from the DI. This could be really good for Jimmy DR, especially because they have this corner game right now. They're able to set up the Psycho Mine, but it looks like, you know, Jazdero is still keeping their defense strong, especially into these jabs.
Yeah, like Jimmy DR was trying to see if they can bait out another drive reversal there. A drive reversal on the side of Jimmy DR this time. Jazdero put themselves right back into the corner, but still looking strong here. Jimmy DR throwing some buttons out, see if he can catch a whiff.
Trying to find something here. Honestly, both of them trying to find a whiff come out. It looks like Jazdero was able to jump their way out of the corner, but Jimmy DR able to do drive reversal, gets thrown out of the air, but is starting to make a bit of an opening for themselves.
Yeah, in burnout, but still looking strong here. Jazdero has to be careful of that level 3, not to throw out a fireball too far, but continuing to put on the pressure here. Pops a Lavushka by Jimmy DR is in burnout. He has to guess for his life, and Survey says he guesses wrong, and Jazdero will be taking a 3-0 in losers quarters over Jimmy and RUFIANmx here in winners finals.
Already starting out in the streets of London. You know, they want to get this over with. They're like, all right, I just want to get my dubs and move on. And that's exactly what we're seeing from Ruffian, just already going out, just running.
Yeah, Ruffian right now is going ahead, trying to stick out those longer buttons of Blanka to try to get EC to go ahead and swing something. But we talked about earlier, EC just has this playstyle. Well, he'll walk back full screen, come in and jump scare you.
Ooh, with the grab, though, was able to parry that DI, but EC just has him in the corner. ODDP, though, and... oh, okay, no, we're fine, we're fine.
Yeah, and what do you know? EC finds the winning hit there, putting himself up one round here in game number 1 of winners finals.
Very strong start as they're trying to keep it going with this defense. Able to jump over, but gets that throw escape.
Yeah, right now, Ruffian just trying to break the defense of EC, but just standing like a brick wall right in front of him right now and cashing out with the level 1 here to go ahead and attack the drive gauge of Ruffian.
Literally just doing so much in order to break their way out, but forcing a knockdown on each other's side. Reversal coming out, though, from EC. Going to be able to get a throw, too. Trying to drive rush it, but the perfect parry punish counter throw.
Yeah, just switching sides left and right, getting a little itchy on the trigger finger there on the side of EC. RUFIANmx is going to go ahead and cash out big time, using all of his drive, finishing things off with the up ball there and putting themselves on the board now 1 round to 1.
Going to be very solid there for Ruffian. Going to be able to secure that. Trying to use their Blanka doll in order to set up. Just going to be running away, though, here. But EC, there we go, breaking open some defense. But that level 2 is coming out.
Yeah, this is where things get really interesting in this matchup. Rufian right there getting a little tricky with the short hop, and that's going to carry EC all the way into the corner here. Blanka online. See what kind of mix-up we see after this.
Especially with that throw in the corner, trying to break open the defense. There we go, getting a jab in, getting some electrocution, trying to get a little bit more with these rolling attacks, but just has to parry a lot of what EC wants to do.
Yeah, but as always, EC just go ahead and navigate their way out of the corner, looking for a meaty button there. Rufian goes ahead and answers with the level 1. Now pretty much defenseless in burnout with no super on deck. See if EC can capitalize, but a counter hit. Blanka ball finds its home. That's going to put RUFIANmx up 1-0 here in winners finals.
Rufian already making quick work of EC and trying to bring it home, able to counter that dive kick a little bit, able to find that opening, and now we're going again from the East Coast to the West Coast.
Yeah, just continuing to make EC a little uncomfortable here, putting him in an uncomfortable position. We talked about earlier how EC likes to stay full screen and use that drive rush, but taking control of neutral with the Blanka and keeping that a threat is being able to put Rufian in a position to go ahead and walk EC down to the corner on his own means.
There we go, trying to get the few jabs against each other. A low is going to be doing good for EC, but Rufian able to just get it back into the neutral state, trying to stop this drive rush, but EC cannot be stopped when they have that drive rush going.
Yeah, what an excellent choice there to go with the OD up ball and a nice little counter poke there with the standing light. Finishes off the round. It seems like Rufian right now is just doing a great job of controlling screen space, which is something EC loves to do.
Especially since, not able to capitalize off the throw, just getting ODDP'd, trying to charge the Blanka doll too, trying to find a way to get through this, and there we go, getting some standing light attacks, going to be getting countered by that ODDP, but both of them just going back and forth against each other, and that level 1's just getting blocked.
Yeah, continuing to force the hard guesses on the side of EC. Rufian now activating that lightning beast, and EC's gonna go into the corner, gonna have a hard business decision to make here. Goes ahead and pulls the trigger with a level 1 to get himself a little breathing room.
This could be perfect for EC to make their way back in, but Rufian trying to once again set up with these Blanka dolls in order to knock EC out, and there we go!
Yeah, it just seems like the Blanka on the floor is continuing to make EC a little uncomfortable, kind of stealing the real estate that EC loves to play with here, and it's just been a puzzling situation for him, and that's why Rufian's up 2-0 right now.
Very strong for them, able to knock EC into the sky and secure another good combo into the drive rush as we're going into the West Coast, getting that crush, and that's going to be perfect for Rufian to set up.
Yeah, breaking out all the tricks, has the Funko Pop on the floor, forcing EC to kind of second guess popping out of the corner. We saw him pull the trigger on the level 1 a couple times, but no level 1, and that's that gamer teabag on the side of RUFIANmx, sending a message on the way out.
And the perfect message at that too. Rufian 1 round away from securing a spot in the grand finals, and they're trying to find anything they can against EC, building back up that drive gauge, but might be getting countered from that DP getting blocked.
Yeah, can't get a little too comfortable here off of that guess. You found yourself in burnout now. Does have the level 1 on deck if he chooses to go ahead and reverse thing, but it's looking like it's all EC right now.
EC is definitely in the driver's seat as they're just walking casually over to Rufian, able to find an opening, trying to drive rush in. Can we get, yes, we get the DI into the stun, just crouching our opponent. Okay, we have some balls if we're trying to beat that, especially since he got cat out of the sky. You can't be doing that.
Yeah, can't get a little too cute here because RUFIANmx is going to go ahead and make you pay. Finds the medium ball into the critical art. This is going to hurt big time, and EC's going to find themselves in burnout once again.
Not looking good for EC. Maybe shouldn't have been teabagging too much like that, especially after the hard knockdown. Trying to make your way back in, but just a lunar OD rolling attack is going to do you out, and that's Rufian securing a spot for gold. Weird, I'm casting games more than I'm fighting, but it looks like we'll talk about that more in a little bit, as we're getting started right away.
And it is going to be the Bison on the side of Jazdero. Maybe could navigate the footsie game a little bit more. Try to find some punishes on these fireballs with the OD Cycle Crusher. But right now, Rookie just throwing out the Sandblast, trying to play the poke game and keep it full screen against Jazdero right now.
Yeah, and look at that. There we go. Flash Knuckle. Order to give Rookie a little bit more of something. But this Bison is coming right back in and setting up a Psycho Mine. Trying to set up another, but the drive reversal is coming out.
Yeah, Rookie spending those resources. We were talking about it earlier, just making sure that they're in an advantageous position when they are putting themselves low on resources. You see it there with the drive reversal. And right now, just continuing to pester with those Sandblasts there, making sure Jazdero doesn't get an opening with any of the knee presses.
Absolutely, because I feel like with those knee presses, that's the perfect way for a Jazz team in order to get the strong opening they want. But Rookie just going to be coming out from the sky in order to secure that game, as now they're just going to be trying to wait each other out. Rookie dodging a little bit. There we go. Punish counter coming out from them. And here comes the triple flush up. There it is.
And Rookie just getting his damage in and going right back to the Sandblast game, just trying to keep control of the pace of the match and not let Jazdero get away with anything. But that's an opening right there with the jump, and here comes the Psycho Mine on the side of Jazdero.
Look at this, though, being able to explode that on command, and they still got that corner pressure strong, trying to get the head stomp, not able to secure it, but they still are in the driver's seat, especially with that Psycho Mine.
Yeah, the mine, a bit of a flub there on the side of Jazdero. Wasn't ready for the juggle. Right now, both players putting themselves in a burnout, but Jazdero does have that level 3. If he finds it confirmed, has super meter to spin. Rookie trying to poke back.
Cannot find this opening. Finds a throw, though. Maybe trying to go for something more. Definitely has the corner, but getting thrown in return.
Yeah, Jazdero, they're putting himself in burnout, but able to navigate the pressure from Rookie. Went ahead and held on to all of that super meter, too. Both players locked and well loaded with that level 3.
Yes, and there we go. Seeing the triple flash knuckle to the level 3. No, we're actually going to be saving it.
Yeah, a bit of a heads-up play there on the side of Rookie. Wanted to make sure that he was going to get the most out of the situation. Jazdero not too low on drive gauge. Spends it right there to go ahead and get the drive reversal. Psycho Mine is planted, and he's going to go ahead and attack the drive gauge of Rookie here and cash out some major damage.
Doing very strong at that, just sending Rookie flying. Jazz feeling very good, getting the low. We're to be going all the way to the corner, especially with that Psycho Mine set up, trying to set up another one, securing the burnout on Rookie, getting a throw. What else are we going to be doing to secure the end of this match other than chip damage? Level 3 to make your way out? No, you're not.
Yeah, I love the way Jazdero stayed patient there. He didn't look for the DI, was looking for his chip sequences, and right when Rookie thought it was going to come, he went ahead and hit the brakes and found the punish off of the blocked level 3.
Very strong from Jazz, you know, just showing their patience as a player. Especially, there we go, more patience, going to be able to block the ODDP and send Rookie back into the corner.
Yeah, Rookie spending more of that cash, though, to get out. Another one with another OD rising uppercut and continues to jump in and put on some pressure, but this might be the opportunity Jazdero needs to put a kibosh on this round early.
Well, he just has to keep going for more jabs. There we go, sending Rookie flying there, trying to secure another game on the board.
Yeah, I'd like to see Rookie go back to that Sandblast strategy. It was working out for him, but chooses to go ahead and put it into high gear here. Jazdero finding themselves on the back foot, a victim of the throw loops, playing some Street Fighter 6 here.
Really is Street Fighter 6, especially when you're getting crossed up by Jazz. Now Rookie is going to be stuck in the corner, especially as these knees are coming out from Jazz to try to mitigate this life lead. They have the Psycho Mine set up, but it's going to be gone. But the level 1's going to be able to keep him alive.
Yeah, very smart there to stop the Oki from the side of Rookie and put him right back into the corner. Spending more of that drive gauge, but another nice anti-air on the side of Jazdero. Hitting the brakes, but is that a preemptive DI call? Rookie was ready for it. Let's see if he cashes out with some super here. Flash Knuckle, level 2, Beast Mode, baby, and that should be enough to go ahead and close out the round. An absolutely masterful reaction there from Rookie.
Rookie just showing, you know, they're keeping themselves alive. They're not going to be down and out. Jazdero does not have mind games on them too hard, as they're already just drive rushing back in, but already getting perfect parry.
Yeah, good job of calling out the pressure there on the side of Jazdero. Another ODDP from Rookie. Jazdero has been forcing those hard reads on the side of Rookie. Let's see if that pays off for him later. But right now, Rookie just coming in and finding himself some throws.
Didn't capitalize off that OD torpedo, and now Rookie has no gauge. They are in burnout, and Jazdero is taking full advantage of it, just drive rushing in and trying to find any openings they can.
Yeah, he was able to bait out the level 3 last time on the side of Rookie. Let's see here if Rookie goes ahead and pulls the trigger, but another bait on the side of Jazdero, and he's going to pay for it with a lot of his health bar. And then with this level 3, this might be enough to close things out.
Yeah, it might be, especially because look at all that health flying there back. They're going to be doing so much, but it's not leaving Rookie out, but they're waking up immediately with a super that's going to be getting blocked once again, thrown down to the ground. Jazdero up 2-0.
Yeah, playing those Mexican mind games just perfectly, getting these hard guesses out of Rookie, and we're going to see a swap to the Ken here. Let's see how this changes things up, see if he wants to throw a little bit of Jin Rise to keep Jazdero on the ground, but Jazdero seems like he's cracked the code on Rookie very early here.
Yeah, it feels a lot different than Rookie's other games where they're getting close, or you might see some stuff happen where they're playing patient. We're seeing constantly Rookie being scared in the corner and popping those supers, and that's exactly what Jazdero keeps trying to fish out.
Alright, we're Rookie with the switch to Ken. Jazdero using the driver early to go ahead and just get the screen control he's been using this entire match. The Cycle Mine is planted and Rookie's on the back foot.
Getting, perfect parry, trying to go for some punish counters, trying to get that Dragon Lash to do more, and gets the wall splat off of the DI.
Yeah, Jazdero not ready for that one. Using another drive reversal to get himself some space. Dangerously low on the drive gauge here. A nice punish counter sweep on the side of Rookie. He finds a punish counter DI as Jazdero was pressing buttons and gets a little more meat off of that bone.
Jazz though, able to throw into the corner, getting another throw too, might be trying to find a throw loop, gonna be getting a jab into that, but getting drive reversed by Rookie. They're trying to stay alive here, but now they're in burnout as Jazdero is just rushing them down.
Going a little back and forth with the burnouts here, but another DI finds its home on the side of Jazdero. We saw Rookie look like he was pumping that level 1, but it didn't come out on time, and Jazdero now on set point.
Set point right now. Look at that. The Dragon Lash kick is not going to be keeping you alive as it's just getting DI'd again, and we're already spending on the level 3 here.
Yeah, attacking the drive gauge early, gonna have a massive lice lead and a massive lead in the drive gauges here. Rookie in a bad spot, but wakes up with a level 3 of his own off of the knee press. Anything you can do, I can do better, and he responds with a level 3 of his own.
Okay, both of them do not have super right now and halfway down on the drive gauge, but Rookie is trying to make an opening, and they got the godlike button right now, the crouching medium kick. They might try to make some openings with that. You just saw it there, but it's not finding it.
We're gonna have to play some of that good nooch, but Rookie passes the vibe check with a reaction to the DI, attacks the drive gate of Jazdero, no super to defend himself. This might be a checkmate situation off of the DI, and Rookie finds it.
Able to get the stun and get another round. It's always been so close, but the true question is right now, can Rookie bring it home? Can Rookie get this game? Because this is still the match point. If Jazz wins this, they're moving on.
Yeah, well, rounds like those last ones, momentum is a cruel, cruel woman in this game. Right now, they're swinging for the fences, and Jazdero's on the attack.
Really trying to break their way in, but coming in from that overhead jump, that's going to be Rookie, but back again in this neutral.
Yeah, Jazdero just taking his foot off the gas a little bit here. Has a nice life lead, trading buttons in neutral. Here comes some more drive rush on the side of Rookie. Slowing things down here, finding himself a nice little Jin ride, but Jazdero finds the counter hit. Does have the level 2 on deck. The mine is planted, but he put himself in burnout.
Nice. Okay, getting the DI, rushing in from the drive rush, just running and stopping, Dragon Lash kick, and that level 3 is going to be securing the first point on the board for Rookie.
Just absolutely stealing the momentum there. It seems like Jazdero just tried to put the kibosh on it by meeting fire with fire, but Rookie looking a little too hot right now, putting themselves on the board, cashing out with that level 3. Let's see how Jazdero responds.
Definitely going to be a big question here, as we're already seeing Nice getting some knees in, getting some Psycho Mine set up to drive rushing in. Jazdero wants to get this very clean, but Rookie getting hit by the Psycho Mine, but the ODDP clutches.
Yeah, getting themselves an advantageous spot out of the scramble here. Jazdero in the corner. Jab loops are coming, finding another low. Rookie pouring it on.
The Jinrai kick is truly coming in clutch for them. The whiff grab, though, that's going to be perfect for Rookie.
Continuing to find openings, but a reversal level 1 is going to put Baby back in the corner. Rookie a little low on drive gauge, does have the level 1, finds himself a jump out, and a neutral jump should seal the deal. A little bit of a reset there to put a little exclamation point on it. And Rookie is now looking dominant in him.
I gotta say the same thing, Non-Factor, and I think the thing is that Ken is working a lot stronger against this Bison. It feels like Rookie has a bit more of a set plan that they want to do, and it's working.
Yeah, still putting in those hard reads, but able to get a little more drive gauge damage off of those Jinrai kicks and different options that Ken has here. Able to find himself a nice little throw there in neutral, and Jazdero just trying to get himself back into the corner.
Literally trying to come in from the run, but always just getting knee press, trying to make an opening. There we go. Gonna be getting the Shoryuken, but getting punish counter because of it.
Yeah, relentless pressure with the buttons here. Rookie not casting in the level 3 just yet. Looking for another neutral jump. Jazdero ready with the anti-air. Has the level 2 to cash out.
Okay, might be going for it. Yeah, going to be securing that level 2. Going to be taking Rookie out as once again we're on that set point versus survival point.
Yeah, and the X factor here is Rookie having that level 3 on deck. He loves to cash out early with the Luke. We'll see if he does it with the Ken here.
Really trying to break open already, but just gets drive reversed.
Yeah, it's kind of been a nice defensive tool on the side of Jazdero. Bison not having that invincible reversal, the only really option he has. Let's see if Rookie baits it at some point here. Go ahead and find himself a nice little drive rush in, but a nice perfect parry on the side of Jazdero.
There we go, waiting each other out. Throw escape coming out from Rookie, trying to keep themselves alive. It's just kind of dash dancing back and forth. But again, just getting jabbed. Jazz trying to find a way in.
Yeah, when it's on your tournament life, Rookie a little bit tentative to go ahead and look for those hard guesses, kind of standing back here, chucking some fireballs. Jazdero says, I'm fine with that, walks back here and is just trying to look for a whiff punish.
Rookie just trying to dance back and forth, trying to use a Hadouken to try to make their way in. But both of them, again, just being very scared of each other because they're trying to play each other out.
Yeah, Rookie just a ticking time bomb with that level 3, finds himself a nice little counter jab. Look for the micro walk up, didn't find anything for it. Backstep there, doesn't find anything off of it. Jazdero once again with the drive reversal, and now Rookie's in the corner. It's looking scary here.
Especially going to be able to get the OD and then just torpedoing your way in. It's going to be Jazz knocking out Rookie from this bracket. Rookie taking 4.
It is EC and Jazdero fighting for their chance to go ahead and head over to grand finals, where things are winner take all here in this breakout series. The prize pool is going to whoever reigns supreme tonight, NM.
So it really is a winner-take-all situation. So you know these free fighters are going to be scrapping hard now, especially because EC's already starting out with the ODDP in order to break Jazdero open.
Yeah, things are getting squirrely here early, almost even health, but EC spending that drive gauge like no one's business. Jazdero looking to take advantage of it, spending for an OD knee here and taking his EC all the way to the corner.
But look at this, just getting parried. Your level 1 means nothing to me, as Jazdero able to take the first round already, as both of them are already, double knee press into a throw.
Yeah, Jazdero heard winner take all, and he's trying to make quick work of EC right now, continuing to put on the pressure with another OD knee press. The mine is planted, and a nice little counter hit grab. Accidentally throws him out of the corner though.
Ooh, but not enough to break that DI from EC, but not really able to capitalize off of it, especially because they're getting counter DI'd.
Yeah, and that counter DI will go ahead and wrap things up. Jazdero trying to send a message, finish things out with the animation when he didn't need to, but it's dog eat dog out there, and Jazdero was going to put himself up 1-0 here in losers finals.
Already strong showing coming out from Jazz. They're trying to take it over easy. Now we're going over to Paris. We got the Eiffel Tower in the background here, as already very neutral.
Yeah, EC right now just trying to mix things up, looking for a lot of jump-ins there to test the anti-airs of Jazdero. Working out for him a little bit, nice little life lead, but Jazdero finding some counter pokes of his own.
There we go, able to set up the combo for the Psycho Mine, but we're just getting drive rushed right now. EC trying to make an opening, but just letting Jazdero escape a little bit while they charge up.
Yeah, getting those Fuha stocks online, but a little bit too tentative. Jazdero finding himself in air-to-air there. Another Psycho Mine is planted. A big guess is going to have to come on the side of EC. Finds himself a counter hit. Jazdero on the back foot.
Oh, nice. Going to be able to throw, trying to drive rush in, get some low fireballs there, and just able to set up. EC now going to be able to take a round, trying to keep themselves alive.
Yeah, we talked them being a really squirrely character and player, and right there it worked out for him big time. Jazdero does get his hands on him this time around, looking to cash out some damage, but more counter pokes just keep on coming from the side of EC.
Every single time. There we go. A really hard knockdown there from that sweep, trying to keep it going, but there we go. Counter hit. EC is back in the driver's seat, going to be able to get that drive rush, trying to cross up, but again, the defense and offense on Jazz is just too much.
Finding an OD Psycho Crusher there. Gonna go ahead and plant the mine here. Might actually look for a level 3, chooses not to. One more guess is gonna do it, but EC finding himself a nice little poke to get out, and Jazdero puts Baby right back on the floor, has a level 3, hits the break off of the drivers, trying to force a hard guess here.
There we go. Going to be able to throw. EC trying to make their way back in. Going to be getting parried from that drive impact. Not able to capitalize. Able to set up for the level 3. Jazz going to be getting caught off guard as it's now 1 apiece.
Yeah, an absolutely insane reaction there to go ahead and catch the recovery frames of the scissor kicks from the side of Jazdero and EC putting themselves on the board here. It seems like both players right now have no interest in really playing a solid neutral game. They're just going to keep on pressing buttons until something hits.
Quite literally just pressing it until it hits indeed, especially since that whiff grab happened. That could have been the opportunity for EC, but the defense again from Jazz is so on point. When they have an opening, it's very tight.
Yeah, right now slowly walking EC down to the corner. Hasn't been a problem for him in a lot of matches he plays. Gets himself a nice little back throw there to put Jazdero in a bad spot.
Trying to make their way in again. There we go. Drive impact for the punish counter. Jazdero not going to be calling it out this time as they're stuck in the corner, but drive reversal going to be doing some numbers, but they're just getting jabbed again. But the cross up!
Yeah, just EC just all over him like a spider monkey right now. Constant jump-ins and looking for cross-up attempts. Just catches Jazdero a little lacking on his defense and puts himself up one round here in game number 3.
Very strong stuff coming out from EC once again, because again, they're just drive rushing their way in. This is how EC likes to play. They're rushing you down and they're not stopping. Another drive rush, trying to go from West Coast to East Coast, but just gets drive reversal. Or it jumps over the DI!
Yeah, not sure if that was a hard read or if they're just going into a flow state at this point, but EC continues to find these random hits on these jump-ins. One more grab is going to do it, and non-stop action is going to put EC up 2-1 here in losers finals.
Jazdero has got to find an answer here. I know they want their first ever breakout win, but right now you're sitting on basically survival game.
Yeah, and choosing to stay with the Bison here, he's pretty much going to be locked and loaded for it. Might find a little bit of comfort in the scramble here. Nice little combo there and planting another mine on the way out.
And there we go, we're getting a knee press, going for the OD cycle crusher, as that's going to secure a very big explosion from that mine.
I guess the OTG, one more mine, looking for the devil's reverse there, abusing the plus frames, sneaks in a DI, EC not ready for it. There's the OD knee press into the knee press nightmare, and that's going to close out the round. Jazdero, pretty much a non-stop freight train there here in round number 1 of game number 4.
Very good super in order to secure that round, you know, trying to stay on that survival point. They're not now or never last ditch effort quite yet, but EC, you see here playing a little safe, trying to charge up some of their attacks in order to get some good stuff.
Yeah, they love playing with those full Fuha stocks, that way they can cash out like this, setting up immediate temp with a low fireball, forcing Jazdero to look for a drive reversal there, and it's just attack on drive gauge right now. Jazdero holding on to it just a sliver.
And staying alive too, especially with a throw, but just gets ODDP'd right now. They do not have much left in the tank, but they're just trying to recover. Same thing though with EC, as they're just coming in, going off the air, but getting perfect parried, and this is the perfect moment for Jazdero to make a comeback.
Yeah, finds the overhead there, goes ahead and sets off the mine, does have the level 2 if they want to look for the Psycho Punisher, finds another mine, trying to cover his tracks on the way out with a nice little jump back medium kick, gets the air-to-air off with the mine explosion, and Jazdero turns the tables, and it's now 2-2 here in losers finals. And
I really feel like they're non-factor, you know, they were able to catch, you know, EC a little bit on the scared point, you know, going up in the air like that and trying to go on the aggression when your Psycho Mind is not the answer, and what led directly towards that round win, as Jazdero is already trying to break open the defense of EC and making it out.
yeah, you can tell that EC just low on drive gauge, doing their patented backdash here, gonna look for some Fuha stocks. Jazdero trying to find a whiff punish, gets caught on the way in. EC now on the attack.
Trying to cross up in the air, drive rush able to make an opening with that counter hit, but just gets drive reversal for a punish counter, but a reversal coming out from EC.
Yeah, EC trying to match fire with fire, and Jazdero firing shots right back. Almost even health there. EC finds himself in the corner. No reaction there from Jazdero, but does block the DI. Level 1 on deck for both players.
Especially getting that air attack level 1 coming out from EC's doing a lot of damage right now to Jazdero as they're just drive rushing in, get the throw escape, but the Psycho Crusher coming in, the OD going for the throw. We have the corner for Jazz, and that wall splat's gonna secure it.
Yeah, it looks like EC was trying to force a one-guess situation, but Jazdero forced it first. Now on set point, let's see how EC reacts here.
It's now or never last-ditch effort for EC once again, as they're already going off the punish counter, already securing a level 1 to get some nice damage in the corner.
Yeah, trying to force a hard reaction there from Jazdero, but he ends up fighting it on the middle of that drive reverse, or excuse me, drive rush with the knee press nightmare.
Look at that, already getting another OD knee presser, trying to continue into the corner, West Coast to East Coast.
Yeah, just continuing to attack EC's drive gauge too. Jazdero knows that's going to be EC's bread and butter to get himself out of a bad spot. Is using that raw drive rush right now, finds himself a nice little counter hit and continues to put on the pressure.
Literally just trying to make their way in. Both of them, again, back into neutral, trying to charge up the stocks right now. That's what EC's trying to do.
One hit is all Jazdero needs, though. EC finds it first, cashes out with the level 1 to keep this tournament life alive. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going into a final game, final round of losers finals.
Going last game, last round, trying to see who's going to be showing out. No more quarters. It's time to match out.
Yeah, right now Jazdero does have that level 2. Probably going to be looking to go ahead and build up that level 3 and cash out with some big damage. EC trying to play a little bit cautious here, but here comes Jazdero finding himself a throw off at the drive rush.
Trying to make their way back in, trying to spin, just backdashing. No, there we go. Drive rush gonna be able to make the opening. Gonna be going for them pinwheel kicks. Try to go a little more.
Yeah, it's kill or be killed. EC on the attack, finds himself a meaty DI. Jazdero not ready for it. Does have the level 1, chooses to cash out now. It's gonna be one more guess, and Jazdero has to think fast here. A throw from EC. One more will do it. Baits it out and finds himself a jumping heavy punch, and EC has punched his ticket into grand finals over Jazdero 3-2.
Beautiful work, both close.
Rufian coming in on winner's side, EC on losers, winner take all. Let's get down to it.
And already the OD rolling attack doing some great work for Ruffian, able to wait out that grab, whiffing it, and there we go, already in the corner, but there we go, EC back in action.
Yeah, Rufian finding a nice little life lead to start things early, but we've seen that hasn't been an issue for EC. A hard guess, though, we saw it from their winners finals match, and Rufian getting the better of the mind games here and closing things out, looking dominant here in round 1.
Very strong stuff from Rufian, showing, it's been a minute since they've been on the breakout cast, but they're still trying to show out and come out, especially getting that throw.
And now setting up that Blanka challenge, we've seen him use it to control neutral, and winners finals getting a little bit of shenanigans going there, getting a nice little commando on the way in. EC breaking himself out of jail.
Breaking themselves out of jail, but they're going right back in there, non-factor, especially with somebody jumping in the sky. It's a bird, it's a plane. No, it's Ruffian trying to make their way in against EC. Just so many low jabs over and over, and EC just can't find the answers.
Just consistently throwing out that crouching medium punch, one of Blanka's best buttons, and it was almost like he was daring EC to do something about it. And Rufian putting themselves on the board here first. Once again, putting another statement on it there. It seems like he's not taking EC serious right now. He said, I'm the better player, and I'm going to show you that.
I gotta agree with you there, non-factor. I was about to say, that might have been a little bit of a taunt.
Yeah, you don't got to hit all the buttons for that one. Rufian right now continuing just to put on the pressure. EC finding themselves in corner and a beautiful shimmy and a whiff punish on the side of Rufian.
This is quite literally Rufian's game. It feels like EC is not able to find their way out of the corner whenever Rufian has them in there. Rolling attack again, Blanka Chandal, but there we go, coming in with the dive.
Yeah, you don't want to find yourself on the wrong end of the mind games here, and right now, EC putting Rufian into burnout, finds himself in the corner, does have the level 1 if he wants to react to something, but it's all EC.
Might be trying to go for a DI to mix it up, especially since it is burnout. Tries to go for a little bit more, but Rufian trying to make their way back in, but jumps away from the DP, getting caught.
Yeah, EC right there, choosing to go for a chip sequence, and it worked out for him that time around, getting Rufian into burnout. See how Rufian responds, does have that level 2. We know he loves to pop it out early.
Trying to get EC in that corner again. Throw in order to keep it. Might be trying to go for a throw loop. Not able to. The punish counter reversal of that ODDP is going to be able to give some life.
And now Rufian finding himself in the corner, a victim of a shimmy there from the side of EC. EC with some super gauge on deck. Let's see if Rufian goes ahead and busts out of jail. Holding down parry. No punish throw yet from EC. They finds one there.
Jabbing each other out right now, trying to block everything coming out from EC, using the level 2 raw like this, but it's still showing out, keeping EC in the air.
Yeah, finds one for an anti-air there, but EC finding another straight hit and cashes out with the level 1. That's going to tie things up 1-1 here in the grand finals. EC popping right back at him.
EC finding a little bit more of what they want to do against Rufian, being a little bit more solid right now as we get into this third game, as both of them are just being kind of like, what are you about to do?
Yeah, putting Rufian on notice as well. You can see Rufian played a little more respectfully here, not just going as a ham just right off the bat, kind of walking himself back into the corner to see if it's a trap for EC. No reaction off of the DI, and EC's going to take advantage of it.
Perfect crush coming out from them, especially Fro in the corner. The corner Oki is on point coming out from EC, but the ODDP is going to be giving Ruffian some life. Not going to be able to get the anti-air and getting thrown back to the corner.
Yeah, continuing to find a lot of that jumping heavy punch. Great job over there jumping backwards to go ahead and catch the Blanka ball while I was in the air. Another jump in there. RUFIANmx low on life right now on his last legs, but finds a perfect parry.
This might be the chance for Rufian to make their way back. Rolling attacks just keep getting countered by a lot of these airs coming out from EC, but EC able to take Rufian down, as now EC is going to be in the advantage.
Yeah, just getting the better of the mind games here. Just hard reads on the side of EC are working out for him. RUFIANmx just walking himself back into the corner, but finds a nice little drive rush punish counter to get in there. Has that level 2 and see if he pops it early in him.
Gonna be waiting to see. That's definitely Rufian's favorite super here, as they're going for a Faro loop, trying to wait out. There we go, getting the low. Rufian is so back right now, especially as they have the Blanka dolls there in the corner, using the rolling attacks. A perfect KO. Yeah, Rufian is back.
Yeah, those 7 golden letters putting an exclamation point on it. And Rufian right now looking alive. EC, let's see if he's shook off of this one. We saw the mind games and a little bit of the taunting work for Rufian long term. And right now finding another counter hit on the side of Rufian.
Might have been trying to go for that side switch in order to mix it up a little bit, but still in a bit of a neutral state. Getting the anti-air though into the drive rush. This is perfect for Rufian to make something happen.
Yeah, trying to find a mix up there. EC ready for it. Putting Rufian into the corner and choosing to burn the level 3 here to attack the drive gauge and also keep Rufian in the corner. It's going to be an advantageous for EC here, but Rufian does have that level 3 in his pocket.
But ooh, look at that. The DI mirror going to be an advantage for Rufian as they're going into a level 3 of their own.
Yeah, very smart to cash out there to keep them from going into burnout and kind of flipping the skip on the drive gauge here. Rufian with a slight advantage, getting himself a nice throw coming off of the Oki. One more guess is going to do it. He switches sides on him, cross-eyed, finds 2 lights, and RUFIANmx up 2-1 here in grand finals.
Rufian needs one more game, and then they're going to become your Breakout Week 24 champion, literally taking a third of all Breakout brackets.
Yeah, and this time it being winner takes all, just a little extra bragging rights for the side of Rufian if he does take it. Right now with that 2-1 advantage lead, but EC has something to say about it, putting Rufian into the corner.
Trying to keep him there too, especially with some of these parries coming out, getting for some low jabs, keep it going all the way into the corner. Half the health gone for Rufian, but they're still out. They're still up.
Nice little punish there on the side of EC. Trying to keep Rufian in a bad spot here, looking for the Blanka balls to try to find a way out, but a perfect parry on the side of EC. It's going to be a nice little punish here and some more Oki for him.
Look at this, getting a few more lows. Oh, getting perfect parry, especially in a corner like this. That's never what you want to see. The ODDP, though, coming out from Rufian, going to be trying to make it go, again, from the East Coast to the West Coast.
Yeah, gets put in burnout there, though, on the side of EC, looking for a DI, but a nice jump back and a punish counter throw on the side of Rufian. Another throw so nice, we'll see it twice, has the level 2, goes air to air with it.
Oh, can we keep the blocking game up, especially when we're in burnout? Going for a few lows, but we're missing on the rolling attack. We're stuck in the corner, and we're getting caught in the air. EC gonna take Rufian out in that close match.
Yeah, just an absolute scramble there. Both players not interested in playing neutral. A nice parry again from the side of EC. Been on point with those for the last couple of rounds, but a low finds its home for Rufian.
I feel like EC is getting a very good read on these rolling attacks. You especially saw that in the third game. Always getting hit from the sky, from some sky attacks from EC, but we're currently in the corner, and Rufian is just laying all the damage.
Yeah, still has that level 3 if they choose to close things out. Finds himself a command grab, checking EC's reactions. One more hit will do it, and a hard guess on the side of EC is going to go ahead and put RUFIANmx on tournament point with a fully loaded gun in his hand.
Rufian is sitting very well right now, and EC has got to find a good answer. This is now or never. This is last-ditch effort, and we're already starting out strong into a level 3 off the jump.
Yeah, respect burning it early to try to put Rufian in a disadvantageous position. EC fighting for his life at this point, but it's looking good for him so far.
Ooh, and we're whiffing the grab too. We have Rufian in the corner, and EC's trying to, there we go, perfect parry, catching Rufian on the projectile. But now we see Rufian trying to make their way out, especially with this level 2. And the level 1!
Yeah, pops it directly into the level 1 to look for some damage. Also keeps that level 2 still online, and they're going to attack the drive gauge of EC, faking him out and finding a punish counter grab. Almost has the level 1 online, see if he goes for the DI. EC has got to have that trigger ready.
This is so close right now, especially since they're in burnout. They can't be blocking for too long, especially as EC is able to get that chip. And now we're in a 2-2 setting. If Rufian wins, we're done. But if EC wins, we reset the bracket.
Yeah, an absolute duel of drive gauges there, and Rufian trying to shut down things early here. EC with a lot of momentum on his side.
Ooh, but we're already getting a throw in the corner coming out from Rufian, but it's just getting ODDP'd out of there. Break out of jail.
Yeah, easy with the free jump out. Rufian finding a little bit of a punish on the way out. Spinning some more of that drive gauge. Looking for a mix up there. Doesn't go for the cross up, but caught Easy looking for a grab.
Both of them just like feeling each other out right now. They don't want to go too crazy. Oh, getting caught out of the sky. Same thing with EC. There we go. We're going back into the corner again as we have Rufian now in jail, but just parrying their way out.
EC accidentally putting himself into the corner there to see if Rufian takes advantage of it. That jumping heavy kick just continues to find its home. Nice OD up ball there from the side of Rufian. He finds a low, catches out with all of his gauge, and once again on tournament point.
Truly on tournament point. If EC does not win the next two, then they are done. They are out, especially as Rufian is really trying to lock this down, not trying to get tripped up by these fireballs.
Okay, here comes the Blanka trying to control neutral. EC gets hit by looking for a cross up there. Jabs out of the fake pressure from the side of Rufian.
Going in, nice punish counter. Going in for a very nice charge and sweep as we're just crossing up every way to Sunday. Throw you in the air, and there we go. Level 3 coming out. We have burnout, but we don't care.
Yeah, cashing out big time. It's not looking good for EC right now. Almost has a level 3 of their own. Let's see if they can take advantage of it. But a meaty hit lands, and that's going to close things out. Rufian has just took another breakout series for Street Fighter 6. NM, he's just on a tear.